Good afternoon, everybody, and today we are very pleased to announce Craig McRae has been appointed the senior coach of the Collingwood Football Club. There have only been two coaches this century, and Craig, you are now the third, so it's a great achievement. So, as most of you know, we changed course in our AFL program 12 months ago. We came close to a premiership in 2018. Disappointingly close in 2019, and we played finals in 2020. Our list is in the process of being transformed. We closed one window to open another. Key personnel have been recruited to drive this transformation, not the least our General Manager of Football, Graham Wright. Craig is joining us in a critical time of this strategy. With our full support and assistance, Craig is to guide and shape this transformation, bring it to life on the field, and ultimately return us to premiership contention. As you will see today, I am joined by Craig and two of the 5 members of the coaching subcommittee that recommended Craig, and the board unanimously agreed, and that is Mark Anderson and Graham Wright. Before I speak further, I would like to acknowledge and thank the subcommittee, Mark Anderson, Graham Wright, 2 board members, Paul Lucuria and Peter Murphy, and last but not least, the fantastic input that Luke Ball gave us in this committee. They all worked tirelessly and spent a long time on selecting our new coach, Craig, and you'll hear a little bit more about that. Craig's been in the game as a player and coach for 28 years. He spent 15 years honing his coaching skills as an assistant coach, a VFL coach and in development. He trained as a teacher before committing himself to post-playing career in the game. He has studied and worked in other codes, namely rugby league. Craig spent 6 years developing the kicking skills of our rugby cousins at Melbourne Storm. He's also served a long apprenticeship in good programs under successful leaders. Amongst those who have influenced Craig have been Lee Matthews, Robert Walls, Alistair Clarkson, Damien Hardwick, and last but not least, our own Nathan Buckley. Craig is the ideal fit for the profile of our playing list. His strengths complement our program. He's being asked to develop a very young squad and mould it into a premiership contender. I welcome Craig back to Collingwood, and we'll hand over to Mark and Graham to explain further the process which way was selected. We'll then hear from Craig. It's a great day for Collingwood, and over to you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark, and I also am delighted to welcome Craig as our new senior coach, and on behalf of all of our members and fans in particular, a huge welcome to you, Craig, and congratulations. It's a great appointment and it's a great day for our club today. We've undertaken a thorough process throughout the search and selection for the head senior coach. It's been an extensive process, and like Mark, I'd just like to acknowledge the role of Paul Lucuria as our football director, Luke Ball, who, as everyone knows, is a 2010 premiership player and well-regarded figure, providing that football expertise, along with Graham Wright, our GM of football, and certainly our director, Peter Murphy, as well. It was a valuable member of our selection panel. When we commenced the process, we spent a lot of time to make sure that we got a clear and deep set of criteria of what we were looking for in our successful applicant of the head coach. It was a thorough process, and we were very clear that we wanted to drive for success, but we needed to drive for success in the right way. And if we found the right person, which we believe we have, that success will be delivered over a sustained period of time. We wanted to do it in a way that ensured that we build a strong foundation for our club and for our team and our playing list, and to ensure that we surround that group, and in fact Craig, with talented individuals that will drive high performance standard right across our football program and into the team as well. At every stage of the process, Craig impressed immeasurably around his experience and the success he's had in every single role that he's had across AFL football. And as Mark mentioned, 28 years across the industry and 15 years as a coach. He's been a 3-time premiership player at Brisbane. He's been a development coach. He's experienced 4 years as an assistant coach and development coach at Richmond in their 3 premiership years, and is now, as you know, has been working at Hawthorn as an assistant coach across the 2021 season. And importantly, he's coached his own team to grand finals and VFL premiership success. Success has been part of Craig's football DNA. When we looked across the pathway of the successful premiership coaches since our own Mick Malthouse delivered us success in 2010, the 6 premiership coaches across that time have actually embarked on a similar pathway to that of Craig. And as we worked through the process with Craig and to understand what he will bring to us, we were sure that he is someone that will bring to us great progress, a great degree of football acumen, and he'll do that in the right way. His leadership style has impressed immeasurably. He's a trained teacher and educator. He's very relationship orientated, and his style is one that works alongside players to bring out their very best. But importantly in this role, he knows how to make the tough decisions that are required of a successful football program. At every stage in the process, Craig's impressed us, and that's been reinforced as we do our due diligence and spoken to people around the industry that have spoken incredibly highly of Craig and what he'll bring to us as senior coach. But football acumen, insight and IP is a critical part of this role, and as I said, we've had 3 excellent people on the selection panel that have led that football process, and I'll hand across to Graham Wright to speak about why Craig's been successful from a football perspective.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. And to follow on from your assessment of Craig, it was clear from our perspective that he was a unanimous choice to be our next senior coach. As Mark touched on, he's a relationship builder, a values-driven leader. He understands the modern game, understands that it's always evolving, but is also a proven developer of young people. And obviously we've got a young list that I'm sure will benefit from his input on the way through. He's process-driven, he's calm, he makes calculated decisions, and as Mark also stated, he's a proven winner across whether he's been coaching or as a player himself. So we're really excited to have him on board. I know from a coaching perspective, and our staff are really excited to have him on board, and we look forward to good times ahead as we head into the future.
So we'll hand across to Craig, to the person that you're all looking forward to hearing from. So over to you, Craig, and again, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I'm pretty pumped. Let's face it, this is a significant part of my journey, and it's been a long one. I'd like to thank Graham and you also, Mark, and the subcommittee of Paul Licuria and Luke Ball and Peter Murphy, and then the board, obviously, to believing in me to take this club forward. It was an extensive process. It didn't make it easy for me. It went for about 6 or 8 weeks, but it did allow me to reflect on my journey, and it's been a long one. This one's been 15 years coaching and the ability to be resilient and struggle and get up, fall over, get up again. I was only sharing a story just before how sliding door moments of leaving one club and getting an opportunity at others has been significant in my journey. So I bring all that here, and I'm looking forward to taking this club forward, as I said. I just want to take the opportunity to thank the Richmond Footy Club for 5 great years of my life. The experiences there gained have clearly put me in this position. I'm really grateful for Peggy and then Brendan and Tim Livingston and Damien and all the staff, particularly the players. It was a great time of my life. I feel like I'm a better person for being at that football club, and a better dad, and also a better coach for it. So thank you to the Richmond Footy Club. In recent time, Graham got me over to Hawthorn, and again, I'm not sitting here without that opportunity, and the ability to work under Clarko was amazing. He's an incredible man. I've learnt so much, and he's someone I'm really keen to keep in contact with. And to Rob McCartney and the other coaches, Brendan Bolton, Chris Newman, Andy Ott and Sam Mitchell, we coached hard this year, and really confident I could get the best out of that group that we coached. And then also to the playing group at Hawthorn, I'll be cheering loudly from afar, but also when you play against us, we'll probably start a few fights and tag a few. So, but I wish you all the best, and thank you again to the Hawthorn Footy Club. I'll just finish by just touching on our members. There's 82,000 members out there, and not only with Collingwood but also around the league that have been paying a lot of money to support their clubs in the industry when it's been a difficult time. And I sit here and I'm really grateful and thankful for those people that have continued to support our club without even being able to go to the games. I'm looking to. It's going to be difficult to please all of you at the same time, but I just want to make sure that you understand we're going to work really hard to develop winning habits and behaviours that you'll be really proud of us, win, lose or draw, the way we go about it. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and thanks again for putting me in this chair, and I'm looking forward to getting to work and making this club rise up the ladder like we want it to do.
Yep. So we'll take questions from everybody now. Thank you.
Craig, first of all, congratulations, and congratulations on the appointment and also the elevation in your career, which you've obviously worked really hard for. COVID, of course, responsible for the understated appointment by Collingwood. Does that suit you, though? I mean, as we heard, you're a calm sort of a character there. Are you happy to sort of dispense with the hoopla that we would normally see at a Collingwood coaching announcement and do it this way?
Well, yeah, to be honest, I'm not a star of the game, retiring great, a big name if you like, but I wouldn't want it any other way. This is my journey, it's my story, all the resilience along the way and the hardship and then all the successes. It's shaped me to be the person I am, and I sit here really comfortable in the seat just to be the best person for the job.
G'day, Craig. Andrew from 7 News, mate. Congratulations. Do you see this as a long-term project, and how many seasons do you think it's going to be before this group in front of you can peak and push back up the ladder?
Well, we're in the position to just get as good as we can, as quick as we can. We don't want to put a ceiling on that. The reality is that we're going to get younger in recent times, and we're looking forward to just getting my hands dirty. I spoke to the playing group before. My appointment offers opportunity and then possibility. So we're looking forward to whatever that looks like. And the players have now go away and come back, and they've got a choice now. So we can get as good as we can, as quick as we can. That's our goal.
Sorry, I was going to say, do you think there is going to be a bit more of a development phase in the first at least season of your time at Collingwood?
Well, I think we're all aligned in knowing that we've got some work to do to get up the ladder. So, in terms of the language you want to use, that's your language. We just want to get as good as we can, as quick as we can.
Craig, Michael Gleeson from The Age. What style of coach will you be? I mean, we talk about relationships and connection and that sort of thing, but what will your game look like?
Well, I'd like to think that we're going to be play a style that the fans will be proud of. In terms of watching recent games of the finals, everyone played a little bit different. So I'm sitting back at the minute looking at the best versions of every team and seeing the things we can implement in our game plan. I'm certain that we'll improve our contest. That's something, watching from afar, I'm keen to implement. And I want to play an exciting brand that the fans will be happy to come watch and cheer us loud.
Craig, Nick Butler from 10. The relationship building side of your coaching, how did you become that? How did you hone those skills?
By not knocking over my water, that's certainly not one of them. Look, it's just be myself. Just create great relationships, show respect for all people, got great values, high morals. I just respect everybody the same, regardless of your status in the game or your background. I don't particularly care. I'll treat the property steward as much as the same way I'll treat Mark. That's just the person I am, and build good relationships so then you can have strong conversations and show a level of care, and that's the person I am.
And are you confident that translates into good performance and kicking goals on Saturdays?
It's worked okay so far.
Well said.
Right, Peter Ryan from The Age. What's when you look at Collingwood or when you're determining whether to throw your hat in the ring, what do you think the biggest challenge you faced to get them up the ladder again?
Oh, well, when Graham rang me and asked me whether I was interested in going through the process, initially I was sort of just umming and ahhing whether that was the direction I wanted to go at that moment. Just making sure all the balls are aligned in terms of my private life and work life and balance and things like that. And once I reflected on it, I just thought this opportunity, this is such an amazing football club. Having been here for 5 years and seeing what this club is capable at its best, I saw a great possibility. And then when Graham sent me the brief, I just thought everything that I am as a person, as a coach, it just fit the brief. So, then I just had a crack at it.
Great, congratulations. It's Jay Clark here from the Herald Sun. Mate, job well done. What was Alistair Clarkson's advice? Did you have much of a discussion with Clarko about this?
Yeah, he's been an enormous asset all year, particularly when the process was starting to heat up. Just the little things, he just... having worked with Clarko, I saw a whole another level of care for his players, and as I've sat here, I'm proud of the coach I've been, and I'm always trying to evolve. I'm not a finished product. I want to get better. But watching Clarko, the way he cared about his people, just the family, even like just the way he embraced my young family into his life, and he's an inspiration. If I can be half the coach he is or was, I'll be really proud. And I did have a joking conversation with him. If he's not doing it next year, I'm happy to get him over to do our stoppages, but he laughed at that. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Craig, Jordan from Radio 3AW. What's your initial assessment of the Collingwood playing list, and what sort of players do you think you need to add?
Yeah, I went through that part of the process, and I think there's a couple of little holes. I think if in our structure, I'm not going to go into those in details now, but we've got a period now we can sit back. I've only spoken to the playing group only half an hour ago, so I don't know everyone intimately enough, but we've got some work to do. We're not happy where we are on the ladder. We want to get better, and we'll find some opportunities within that trade period or draft to get those areas amended as best we can.
Craig, those lines... sorry, Tony, go.
It's Tony Jones again from Nine, Craig. I was just going to ask you, I'm just trying to get a handle on Craig McRae here at the moment. So what we're seeing at the moment, obviously it's a pretty nervous occasion for you. Are you always this measured, or can the media expect a bit of grumpiness from time to time? Who's the real Craig McRae?
Yeah, I'm going to get grumpy. Don't worry about that. No, this like I said, there's 82,000 supporters and members in our group and for our club, and you can't keep everyone happy. I understand that. One thing you'll know from me, Tony, is that I'm happy to take the blows and be accountable to our actions, the way we're playing. But when we start winning, I'll be quickly passing the buck to others, and it's a collective. It's easy to sit here and say it's a one-person job. That's just not reality. Football clubs are built on many numbers and many people, and I'm a cultural builder. I'm good with people, and that's the club that we will be forging forward with.
Craig, those Lions sides you played in were ruthless. Is there an aspect of that in your coaching?
Yes.
And a hard edge to, we've spoken about the relationships and the teaching. I mean, you've come up under Wolsey and Lee. Is there a time when you need to use the stick rather than the carrot in your coaching as well?
Absolutely. I think that's the basis of building strong relationships. It gives those conversations become easy. When you've got a relationship to a level where you just go, mate, what you're doing right now doesn't suit the Collingwood Football Club. We need to get better in this area. I'm a rewarder. I like to water what we want to grow. I spoke to the playing group before about certain things that we want to see in place straight away when we get back. Some of them put their hand up, said, there's things they want to make sure they do when they get back, and we'll hold them to account to that. We'll get them to honour their word.
Right, Mitch Cleary from AFL.com.au. You spoke about Clarko and the words. How much did you have to say or chat with Lee and Dimmer through this process as well?
Yeah, Lee said some kind words about me in the press, which I've made sure I acknowledge. And he's to be honest, and I said this in the process, that Lee's like a father now, and he probably won't like hearing that, but just such a great mentor. He shaped me so much in my career as a player, and then even just the words he said the other day, I text him and he texts back, and if there's anything he can help me with, he said he'd be there for me. So it's really nice to have someone of his calibre, and to be honest, a lot of my coaching stems from Lee's principles, and I think I'll see a lot of that in the playing group will anyway.
And just from your time at Collingwood, a lot of the leaders in terms of the playing group are still there. Scott Pendlebury still side bottom. Did you touch or reach out to those guys throughout the process?
No, I didn't. No, I steered away from that initially. Pendles was the first guy I saw on the way in, and he's got a big part to play. I mentioned in front of everyone that I would use Pendles as an example to all the other players that I coach in other clubs about the professionalism, the level of detail we put into his game, and he's going to be integral in developing this young group. So I'm organising to catch up with all the players one-on-one in the next period and get to know them at a deeper level.
Ashley Brown, AFL record.
You go, Gerard.
Sorry, Ashley Brown, AFL record. Craig, big club Collingwood. How are you going to deal with the white noise that inevitably surrounds Collingwood, particularly after a couple of losses?
Yeah, it's all part of the struggle, isn't it? I think that's part of that makes the winning so much more enjoyable. I was at Richmond Footy Club when there was a lot of noise, when things weren't performing, and they could turn that around quickly. I think it's just worrying about what you can control. And it's an old cliche, but that's reality. I'm here to coach the football club and make everyone better as quick as we can, and that's where I put my energy.
Craig, Andrew here from Seven. Did you have any reservations about the role given the uncertainty at board level?
Having spoken to Graham, it did make the opportunity to come aboard a lot easier in terms of just what's going on externally, and when you actually get some of the details involved with what's going on. I had comfort coming in to go for the position. I'll use a Lee Matthews phrase he used when he first got to Brisbane. He said, players will play, coaches will coach, and administrators will administer, and I'm here to coach the team. Did you like that, Leroy?
So
that was a pretty good Leroy, wasn't it?
Reservations? but I mean, if it's a new board that comes in, I mean, are you confident that they're going to be just as aligned with you as the current board?
Yeah, I'm led to believe that's the case, and I have great confidence sitting here that that's going to be executed.
Craig, Mitch Cleary again. Can you just confirm that the length of tenure is a 3-year deal? And secondly, the people around you, Justin Lepich, and what role he will play, and how many of the remaining assistant coaches will stay? Scott Selby, we understand, is contracted, and how many of those will remain with you on the panel?
Yeah, at this stage, I haven't signed the contract, right? It's getting close, but it's at this stage it's a 3-year offer, and in terms of bringing other people in, this is one of the exciting parts of this opportunity is that you get to build a really good team around you, not only the playing group and start and build a culture, but to build a great team around that we can start together. And Justin Lepper's a great friend of mine. I just want to say and make it pretty clear that I'm not just going to bring my best mates in. That's just not how I operate. I want a diverse coaching group. I want the best people in their roles. Having said that, Lepper's the best I've seen, best I've worked with in his defensive structure. He's an elite coach. I'd like to start conversations with him and see where that goes. But again, we're going to maybe 2 or 3 other additions that will find the best available in the country to make this group better.
Craig, Tony Jones again. Can I just ask you, any concerns at all about what appears to be a looming battle to the man sitting on your left, Mark Corder?
No.
That never came into calculations at all when you were weighing up whether to jump on board a club that might be a little destabilised at the moment in terms of its administration because of this looming threat or genuine threat?
No.
You don't want to elaborate a little on that?
No.
Just one for Graham, if we can. How important was the year and the approach to Craig 12 months ago to get into Hawthorn and what you saw to sort of push his name forward to the board?
Yeah, well, I actually was part of getting Craig across to Hawthorn, but then I'd left Hawthorn before he'd really started. So he was, I think we're a couple of weeks in, so I really had minimal time with him, but heard really good things through the Richmond people. That's why we were keen to get him across to Hawthorn. And I've heard really good things from the Hawthorn people. So from that perspective, we didn't actually work together other than a couple of weeks, basically. But overall, yeah, it was it played a small role in it, but yeah.
Question for Mark, if I can. Mark, what is the situation with the looming board challenge, and how confident are you of being able to remain in the position?
Thanks for the question. Listen, we've brought forward the AGM from February to December, so obviously the members will get to vote on the board. So that's where we are at the moment. And I think we should just concentrate this press conference on celebrating Craig's appointment, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and certainly I think that the media will do that. There is a healthy level of respect there, but there is also obviously a pretty big situation with the board. What is your message to all the Collingwood members?
The members will get to have a vote on the 16th of December about the board that they want for the Collingwood Football Club. It's as simple as that.
And you want to remain in the position?
That the members will vote in the board, and the board then votes the president. So that's where we are, and that's the process that we shall follow.
Thank you.
Do you think that's...
Actually, Craig, Andrew, I could just ask one more about the leadership. You spoke of Scott Pendlebury and how he's such a great example to follow. There are a couple of guys who are putting their hands up in terms of the right time to perhaps hand that role over of captaincy. Do you see that as maybe a symbolic way to start your journey here at Collingwood in perhaps handing that over?
Well, I'm not sure about that. I want to chat to Pendles. As I said, he's the first person I want to talk to, and get a gauge for where he's at in that part of his career, and we'll make a decision based around what he wants to do. I think that he's been an incredible player for this footy club for a long time, and I think he has the right to decide what he wants to do around that space.
Righty, just on that, Tom Brown from Seven, regarding Pendle's contract. Obviously, there was that radio interview, I think it was on Triple M, there was some discussion around that a couple of weeks ago, which Pendle's tried to clear up. Could you just explain that from your perspective and how close it is to a new deal, please?
Yeah, excuse me, sorry. I saw what was written, and when you actually hear what was said, it was a little bit different in the context of it. But I think he came out and cleared that up, that he wants to be a lifelong Collingwood player, whether that be 1 year, 2, 3. But from that perspective, we're pretty close to that, and we've been really open and honest together that he feels as though his journey in coaching will probably be away from here once his playing career finishes, and I think that's a great thing that he's able to go out and see another system or another club when the time's right. But he's certainly a coach in waiting, and but hopefully he's got a few years left playing.
And just one more for me, Righty, on Leper. Is it possible you could have a hybrid coaching and list role? There's obviously a list vacancy at the moment, and potentially vacancies across the assistant coaching board. Is that like a fillip or an incentive that you could offer Leper, both those paths?
I think the short answer would be no. We'd certainly value Leper if he was to come across to us. We'd value his input into that. He's got great experience. He's been a senior coach himself. Being part of great clubs, and listening to him on the radio, I think everyone would agree he's a great media performer, and he's able to actually express what's happening in the game and understands players really well. So having him involved in that, I think, would be a great thing. But as I said, we just haven't got down that path far enough yet to make decisions on who will come in.
Thanks, Ray.
And Graham, Rob Harvey has already departed. Will this appointment see Brenton Sanderson leave as well as an assistant coach?
From a coaching perspective, yeah, it looks like Sando will finish up with us as an assistant. We are exploring with him what else might be available with us, and we'll work through that in the next few weeks.
So is that a potential list role or development? Can you take us welfare, what that looks like?
We're exploring that right now. He could go across a number of areas, and he's an experienced football guy who's given great service to the club, like Robert Harvey. So we'll explore that and see where that goes.
Can I just ask Craig again? His social media accounts over the journey have expressed quite a bit of love for the Mason Cox. Is that going to extend into a new contract for him?
Well, again, he's going back to the States on Friday. I'm keen to have a conversation with him. But again, what's best for the footy club is paramount, and I need to talk with Righty and Derek Hine around what his contract status is and where that fits. So there's a bit to play out on that.
Craig, have you heard from Nathan Buckley? Any messages of congratulations?
No, I haven't. But I think I've got his shirt on because it fits me well. But I work with Bucks. He was a terrific asset to me when I was developing my craft, and I've got nothing but respect for Bucks, and I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Craig, you spoke about the contest being an emphasis when you take over. What about Collingwood scoring wise? Do you think how do you solve the balance between attack and defence?
Well, look, I'm remiss to question or challenge what was, and this is a time where I'm going to get all the information given to me by the other coaches in the coming days about what's worked and what hasn't worked. There's been an extensive review done already, so I'm going to get all that information. But what I'll say is that 18th for inside 50s is not the team we want to be. So we're going to have to do some stuff in regards to that, and then the contest is a big part of that. So we want to increase our opportunity to get the ball inside 50, like everyone does, and then give us the best way to score from that.
Craig, just on that, Jordan Jagoli obviously had a great second half of the year and looked to work really well under Robert Harvey. Did you sort of work with Geordie or come across him in your travels?
No, only briefly. When I was first year, he started, so it was very brief. He's a quality player of the competition, isn't it? So we want to get the best out of all our players, and finding the right balance of his midfield and forward, and then I need to have a conversation with him. But he gets an opportunity to come back like all other players, and first day of pre-season, and make a choice of what sort of player he wants to be for us.
All right, if there's no more questions, we'll wrap it up.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Craig.
Thank you. Good luck.